What's going on, guys? It's SP. I just want to do a phone collection update. A lot has changed since last time. There's 197 devices. Last time there was 186. And a lot of the devices themselves have been changed, so I don't have a lot of what I used to. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start off up here at the Samsungs. To start off, we have this Z Flip 3. I got this on eBay for about 60 bucks a while back. It still works, and I still use it sometimes, but it's a pretty cool phone. Next up, we have my S20 Ultra. This has a messed up screen, so I can't really use it unless I replace the screen, but I'm probably just going to sell it. Same story for this regular S20, messed up screen, obviously. Touch doesn't work above this crack, otherwise it is working. Here's my S10. This was my old main phone. It also cracked and the AMOLED has damage, and it doesn't respond to touch at all, so it's completely useless right now. Here's my Galaxy S10e. I got this for $60 on Mercari. It has no camera glass and the back is like loose, but it's not cracked at all, but the phone does work completely fine. It's on T-Mobile. Next up, we have my Galaxy S9. This was one of my old main phones. I got it brand new. This one works completely fine. It has a small dot on the screen from where I replaced the screen because it cracked. Next up, we have my S7 Edge. This is fully destroyed, but somehow the phone is fully working. It's on Sprint. The coil is the only thing that doesn't work. I need to buy a back glass and a screen for it. Here we have two S7s. This one is fully working on Verizon. It's actually in really good condition, minus the fingerprints I just put on it. That one works fine. It has image burn on it. This one I got in the phone lot. It has no battery and no power. It's also cracked, so it's probably got a damaged AMOLED, but I'm not sure. Moving on, we have one of my personal favorites. We have a emerald green S6 Edge. This one came in a phone lot. These, I'm pretty sure, were only available in China and other countries, not the USA. And unfortunately, I did step on the phone. The back shattered. I ordered a replacement. It was like $10. I have it sitting in my room right now, but for some reason, the motherboard is looping. And I'm going to try to fix that or swap the motherboard. Yes, the screen is cracked, but it is fully working, other than a small dot right above the home button. We also have another S6 Edge. We have a small crack on the back, and the screen has a couple cracks on it, but this phone fully works. It has a good battery. It's pretty fun to mess with because it's the first Edge phone, and that one fully works. It's on AT&T. Next up, we have this Galaxy S6 in my favorite color for S6s. The back is loose, but otherwise it's fully working, and this is my only good S6. All right, moving back to the left side, we have two Galaxy S5s. This one I tried to sell at an Eco ATM just to see what it gave me. It was $3, by the way. Both of these are fully working. I just kept whichever ones were the best of each color because I'm trying to thin out the duplicates in my collection a little bit. But both of those fully work. Here we have my S4s. I have three of those right now. I have this one that I drop tested, and it's in this condition. It's got some sort of a software issue, and I just didn't feel like messing with it, but I still have the phone. This one is unlocked, and other than that, which is just smudges, it's in perfect shape. I really like this phone. It's unlocked because it has that boot up sound. That's why I bought it. And then we have this one. It's in a yellow OtterBox. I got this one from my friend Mac Acoustics on YouTube. It's just a normal one. I forget what network it's on, but it works completely fine. Right here we have my only S3. It's in kind of a gross case, honestly, but it fell on my tile floor and shattered one day. It was like 4 years ago. I still have the phone. It still works. I replaced the battery in it, and it works fine. All right, and here we have my Note collection. I only have three of these phones at this point. I got rid of the Note 8 I had in the last video, but one of my personal favorites in my collection, I have a Aura Glow Note 10. Unfortunately, I did crack the back. I don't know how it happened. It was in my hand, and I just heard the crack, and it cracked. So I have a replacement back glass on its way for this phone. The phone itself works completely fine. It's beautiful. It's huge. The screen is cracked, unfortunately, but not enough for me to care. So that's one of my personal favorites. I got it for about $80 on eBay just a few months ago, so pretty cool phone. Next up, we have my Galaxy Note 5. This one's in reasonable condition, some scratches here and there. It works completely fine. I replaced the battery on it 2 years ago when I got it. And then last for the Notes, we have my Note 2. This one is in mint condition. You guys probably remember this, but it does not have a back cover, so I need to order that. It's going to be like $10, so I just need to do it one day. All right, and here we have my A-series Samsung phones. We have the A21, which is cracked, but it is working. I don't use it much just because it's a slower and older phone with mediocre camera. An A10e I recently got in a phone lot. You probably saw that video on my YouTube channel if you've been following along. This one has a cracked LCD. I've done no other testing on it. And then we have this one, which works, but it has a Google lock, and I need to bypass it. And that one's an A20, by the way. I forgot to mention. All right, and last for the Samsungs, we have this J3 Emerge. It's missing a battery and a back cover, but it is working completely fine. It has a single crack through the screen. We have a older J3. This one's completely working. I'm pretty sure the volume button is hard to press, or it just doesn't press. I'm not sure which one. We have a J7, which is cracked, but I believe it does work, and a Galaxy Sentra. This is a really old Samsung that's pretty useless, and the screen protector came on it. So that's going to do it for the Samsungs. Let's go ahead and move on to LG. I recently got this one. This is one of my personal favorites in the collection. It's a LG Wing. I'm not sure if it'll be charged, which it is. Yep, all right. So LG Wing, it has the fold-out screen like this. I think it's really cool. I got it for about $65 on eBay because it has a cracked screen and a cracked back. The phone works fully fine though. I'll let it turn on. So we have my LG G Flex 2. I got this one in the box for about 90 bucks. It was a good deal back in the day, or maybe not 90. I think it might have been closer to 60. I forget now. LG Stylo 6. This is fully working in pretty much mint condition. I like the phone. It's pretty nice. A Stylo 4 here. It's on boost, and this one is working. I got it in a Staples bin, so this is pretty cool. And it has a cracked screen protector. The screen underneath is mint, and it works fine. And I'm going to say the LG Wing is actually dead, unfortunately. All right, so some of the cheaper LGs, we have an LG Leon. I got this one on eBay a few years ago from a friend. LG Optimus Zone 2. This is actually one that we drop tested. We did a ludicrous drop test, which is like 25 feet in the air multiple times. This is the only damage. The phone still works fine. I got another one laying around somewhere. I couldn't find it for the vid. All right, and here we have a LG Chocolate Touch. This was one of the first LG smartphones, if not the first. I forget now. It's missing a charging flap, but who cares? It's an old phone. It works completely fine. Even the battery holds a charge. And last for the LGs is an LG Dare 2. All right, so that's it for that section. Let's go ahead and move on to these Androids. We have this little LG thing. I have no idea what it is. I'm pretty sure this one came out of the Target bin. So there's that. We have the Maze Speed, little iPhone 7 rip-off looking thing. It works. This is an Asus Zen or Pad phone. Actually, it has a bad digitizer, so you can't touch it, but it works otherwise. One of my nicer, different brand Androids, we have a Sony Xperia 10 Plus. This phone works completely fine. Just a cracked screen protector. It works good though. Has a little bit of yellowing at the bottom of the screen. It's a common issue for those. So next up, we have the OnePlus McLaren 7T Pro. This is one of my personal favorite phones just because it has that pop-up camera. This one works completely fine. It was my main for a while, and unfortunately I didn't use a case, so as you can see, there's a lot of damage on it. The back is cracked, but it does still work completely fine, so I'll give it props for that. Right here is my only remaining Google phone in the collection. This is a Google Pixel 1 XL, I believe, and no screen, no idea if it works or not. I got this in that same phone lot as the A10e. Here's a Nexus 6. This is my personal best find out of the Target bin, which is not saying much because it's a Nexus 6, but this thing is pretty good shape, actually. It just has this crack at the top. This phone works completely fine, and I used it as a main for a couple of days. It's on T-Mobile. And here we have a CoolPad Legacy. I got this one from Mac Acoustics as well. This phone is working completely fine. Fingerprint magnet, apparently, but that is a good phone. All right, so next row we have this Cricket brand phone. I never really bothered. Any of these I haven't really bothered to fix if they were broken, so this one has a cracked screen. Here's a ZTE. I'm not sure which model. This one's horribly shattered, but I do believe it works. A UMX phone. This one works completely fine. I think I got this one in a trade with some guy as an add-on, but I don't really need it. This is an AT&T branded phone. I have no idea what model it is anymore. It's pretty scratched up, which is sad because I've barely ever used it. And I threw a skin off of an 11 Pro on it because I don't care. Here we have what I think is a Moto E6 Play. I got this from the thrift store actually for $5 actually. The phone works. It's in pretty good shape. I mean, you can't really complain for $5. Here we have this massive ZTE phone. I have no idea the model of it. It's cracked. Got it in a phone lot. It has GTA Vice City, so that's pretty cool. Here we have a Motorola Droid. I don't remember the model of this one. It came from a phone company, actually, like a repair shop. They had this sitting in the back, and I got it really cheap. Here's a LG of some sort. It's on track phone. Screen is cracked right here, unfortunately. I don't really know what model it is, and I haven't used it in forever. Here we have my last two remaining Evo 3Ds. I have this one. This is in good shape. It's on Sprint, and then we have a Virgin Mobile one with missing borders, missing buttons, and missing trim. Okay, and then the last row down here, we have the Asus Zenfone. This one is cracked and missing stuff on the back, but it works completely fine. It's a pretty cool phone to mess with, being my best Asus phone. We have an Evo Shift 4G HTC. This one works completely fine, but it has some brown smudges inside the screen from where water got into it. Here's a ZTE phone on AT&T, so I'm not really sure what model. Here's another AT&T. This one is an Alcatel, I believe. Yeah. Another UMX. This is actually the one I got in the trade. I think that one might have came from a phone lot, but I got this one in a trade. It works completely fine. Here's this thing. I don't know what it is. It says that on the back. It works completely fine. Here's a TCL A3 or A4. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's an A3. Someone will correct me in the comments. This one works fine. It's just cracked. I think my friend got it in a Target bin, and I traded him for it for some reason. I don't really have any use for it. Here's a ZTE Blade. Believe it or not, this was my music phone like 2 years ago. I had an SD card in it with some songs, and I used to carry it around just because it had a headphone jack, but I haven't used it in probably a year now. And last but not least, we have the Wyco phone. I'm not really sure what it is. It's Google locked. I haven't bothered to bypass it. Alright, so here's all my dumb phones. I'm not going to bore you guys on these too much because to me they're boring and I don't really like them. I have no idea what the model of any of these are except for a couple. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick out some of the ones that I think are cool. We have this little slide-out clamshell LG. I got this one from the same people as the Evo Shift. This one works fine. It's pretty cool. I like this Sanyo because it's pink. I like the color of it. It's really nice looking. Unfortunately, it's stuck on the Sprint screen, so I can't really do anything with it. But I think it looks nice on a shelf. We have this LG right here. This one went in the pool and still works somehow, even though it's an old non-waterproof phone. We have this one, which is kind of cool because it has a sideways slide-out keyboard, and it was kind of a competitor to the 2G, as you can tell by the blatant ripoff. Another cool one, just because the color is this Motorola. Don't know the model, but it is purple, so that's cool. Yeah, that's basically it. The rest of them are kind of normal. Don't know how I missed this, but I do have a Motorola Razr. Obviously the coolest flip phone ever made. Before we get to the main event, I thought I'd show my iPads real quick. I got this one in a trade with Phony. You guys probably saw that video. This is an iPad Pro, first gen 9.7 inch, 32 gigabyte. I do need to buy a battery for it because it's dead. Not dead, but it has a really bad battery life. Here is an iPad Air 2 that I bought forever ago on eBay. It came on iOS 10, and unfortunately I upgraded it to 13 because I felt like it. Regret that now, but it does work fine. It has a really good battery, and I had the box for it and everything. It was one of my better purchases. Here we have an iPad Air first gen. This one doesn't have a home button. It's iCloud locked, and it has some sort of an engraving on it, and whatever that is, I don't really want to know. I think it's sticker residue, I hope. So I might do a drop test on that. Let me know if you guys want to see that. Here's my personal first iPad I ever owned. This is an iPad second gen. I had this thing since like maybe 6 years ago now. My dad's friend gave it to me when he upgraded, so thank you to him. Started out a lot of tech stuff for me. And last but not least, I got this one in a trade from a friend who doesn't do anything involving tech, so I'm not really sure how he had this, but he had it's still charged. This thing will actually stay charged for like 3 months at a time. I haven't touched this, obviously. It has screen protectors stuck to it. Somehow this is still charged. It's an iPad first gen. It's actually in really good condition outside of this case, but I'm not going to take it out just for the sake of time. Screw it, I took it out of the case. I don't even like that case anyways. Here's the outside of it. It's got a couple little dents, and then this mark rubs off. It's just from where that case was sitting, but it's a super good condition thing. It's meant underneath that screen protector. The screen protector was put on from when they bought it, which is really cool. So one of my favorite iPads. All right, and now what you've all probably been waiting for. Here's my iPhone collection. So I'm going to start out with the newest first. We have my iPhone 13 right here. This was my main phone until about a week ago, and you'll see why in a second. This has a scratched up camera lens, but that's about it. Otherwise, it works completely fine. It's still a really good phone. I use it all the time. Got this within the last week. It's a Midnight Green 11 Pro Max. It's 64 gigabyte on T-Mobile, so whatever. But it works completely fine. This is probably one of my favorite phones that I've ever gotten because I love 11 Pros, and now to have a Max in the color that I've always wanted is sweet. The screen is very scratched on this, but to be honest, I don't really see it when doing just normal use. So that's my main phone right now. I got my SIM in it and everything. I love it. Good battery life, big screen, about the same camera as my 13 was. Here's my regular 11 Pro. I had this before I got that 13. It unfortunately suffered like a 7 to 8 foot flat drop. So this is a screen protector that's on it right now. It's cracked. The screen is replaced, and the motherboard has issues, so it can't turn on. So I'm going to have to ship that off someday. I really want to still. Right here is my iPhone SE2. This has a brand new screen protector, and the back is in pretty good shape. As you can tell, I have a lot of these in cases now that I didn't before. If they have a case on them, that probably means that it's either one of my favorite phones or a working phone, because a lot of these are parts phones. But if they have a case on them, that means that they're good to go. So here I have my 10R. This is a cracked screen protector. The screen itself is good, but it has like a dark spot down here. I need to buy a replacement. They're only like 15 bucks on eBay now because they're LCD. Good shape otherwise. I have a Spigen case on it. but I got the blue one. That was my replacement phone for a while. Here is an iPhone 10. This one is in basically mint condition. I mean, it's pretty nice. So this one unfortunately has motherboard issues where it likes to freeze up like once a week or so. And also the Face ID recently stopped working, and the earpiece speaker no longer plays any audio, so that kind of sucks. And here we have my other iPhone 10. This is a white one, or I guess silver is what they called it. I have this like metal case on it that's a privacy case. It has an LCD replacement screen, which kind of sucks, but otherwise it's fully working, aside from also the Face ID went out on it. Both of these had Face ID failure while I owned them, which sucks, but oh well. So moving on, we have my 8 Pluses. I finally got a working 8 Plus. So I bought this on eBay for about 20 bucks. This rose gold one is how it came, and I fully restored the phone into this condition, which is mint. I mean, everything on it works. It's on iOS 12 actually, which is really cool, and it completely works. I love this phone. Fortunately, I can't really use it because it is on iOS 12, but I won't bring myself to update it because it's so rare. But yeah, I finally got a working 8 Plus. This was my previous best 8 Plus. It has a bad home button, a cracked back, a white 7 Plus screen on it, and it's blacklisted. So this one's currently for sale. I hope to get rid of it soon because I really don't want it anymore. And here's my other 2 8 Pluses. Both of these do have motherboards in them and batteries and stuff, but I couldn't tell you. One of these is unlocked, one of them is not, as far as iCloud goes. They both don't have home buttons, so I'm not even going to bother fixing them, and obviously I would have to get a new shell. So I'm not really going to bother. All right, and then we have normal 8s. This one actually worked completely fine, but I don't know if you can hear it. It's not doing it right now, but it has half of the home button cable is ripped on this. So it tries to sense your like how hard you're pressing the home button, and it can't. So sometimes it'll press the button like 20 times when you press it once. It's just really finicky. It works otherwise, unfortunately. But this is my other 8. This one has a bad screen right now, but it's swapped into a red SE2 housing, which is pretty nice. I just need to buy a screen for it, and then it'll be working again. Both of these have motherboards, or all 3 of these actually have motherboards, but they're all either iCloud locked or missing home buttons, and I don't feel like fixing them because condition. The red one's fine, but it's a very bad motherboard. So 7 Pluses, I have these 3. None of them are locked or anything, but they all don't have screens at all, as you can see. And this one is actually the most complete. These both don't have anything other than the board, so they're not really worth fixing. Down here, of course, the one complete one that I even have the home button for this, but it's iCloud locked, so I can't do anything with it. And then my only working one is right here. This one has a bad home button, but otherwise it's completely fine. I got this fully disassembled from a friend like 4 or 5 years ago. This was at the time my best iPhone when I got it, but obviously not anymore. Regular 7s, I have a product red 256 gig red one. This is one of my favorite phones in the collection. I bought this because I missed my 7 when I got that 11 Pro, but this one works fine. I love it. Good battery, 100% health because I just replaced it. And my other working 7, I have this matte black one. I love the matte black as well. This one, at the moment, has a bad screen, which also makes the home button not work. The home button does work, just not on this screen. So I need to spend about 15 bucks and buy a screen, and then this one will work. It's on Straight Talk. This one is unlocked. So, actually, it was on Xfinity. These 4 don't have screens. One of them has a baseband issue. This one, the screen won't work at all. The motherboard has an issue where the screen backlight can't come on or the screen at all. And none of them have screens or home buttons, so they're not really worth fixing. Here we have first gen SEs. I have a rose gold one right here. This one works completely fine. I have it in an OtterBox. Actually, no. This is not a rose gold one. This is a 128 gig silver. This one has a 5S screen and the earpiece speaker is pushing out on it. I need to swap the screen to a white one that I have for an SE1. But 128 gig, 100% battery health because it's replaced. This one right here is my rose gold, as you can see. Sorry. 16 gig, so it's kind of garbage, but it does work completely fine. The battery needs replaced. It's at 91, but being an SE, it has like a really small battery and it barely works. And then this one's just for parts. It has no screen, no battery, and it's iCloud locked. So you guys probably remember I used to complain about 6Ss and 6S Pluses. I finally have a working 6S Plus. I bought this one with a bad screen. So it has a good screen now. So 16 gig, black screen, white home button, unfortunately. I need to just buy a white screen sometime. All 4 of these don't have screens. They're mostly iCloud locked, and if they're not, they're water damaged. So they're all kind of garbage. I have my regular 6Ss. I finally have 2 working 6Ss. I have one gold one that died and then one silver one, or space gray actually, that is currently charged. They both work completely fine. This one has a cracked screen I need to replace. And then we have my parts 6S. It's just iCloud locked, otherwise it's completely fine. 6 Pluses, I don't have a working 6 Plus anymore. Mac Acoustics currently owns that. It had a bad home button, so I didn't really need it. These two are both, well no, actually this one's not iCloud locked, but we did a drop test on it because it already had a bad screen anyways. I just need to buy a screen for it, and I think it works. I just don't have a home button, so it's kind of not worth it. This one's locked. And I have regular 6s. I have 5 of these things, or 6 of them actually. This one works fine. It's on iOS 10, which is really cool. This one works. It is my current best. It has 128 gigs of storage. It's silver. And 93% battery health on an original Apple battery, and it lasts forever. We have this one. This one I got from my grandpa. It's got 79% battery health, and it lasts about 10 minutes off the charger. So I just need to buy a battery for that. Same story with this one. This one's cracked though. I need to buy a battery for it because it doesn't even have a battery, but it does work completely fine. No iCloud lock. It's a 16 gig, I believe. And this is my only iCloud locked 6 right now. It's a silver one with no screen and a bunch of missing parts. I've just kind of been parting it out, but it's iCloud locked and it's not really worth fixing. So here we have my two 5Ss. We have this one. This is my third or fourth ever iPhone that I ever owned, this exact one. It works completely fine. It just needs another battery now because I've had it for so long. And then this one right here I got from that same phone repair shop as a few of the other phones. It's in mint condition, and it's factory reset on a fresh install of iOS, but it has an iCloud locked, so I can't do anything about it. Here we have my 5Cs. I have 2 of these, the green ones, and they're both locked. This one works completely fine, needs a battery. This one has a motherboard fault, same with this one. This one right here works completely fine. It's a green one. I put it in a official Apple silicone case. It updated for some reason, even though it was fully updated, so I need to just set it back up again. But it is not iCloud locked. It works completely fine. It's on my iCloud. We have this one I pulled out of a Crutchfield bin. Crutchfield is like a car audio and home audio stuff, but they have a recycling bin. They let me take that out of it because they're cool there. Fortunately, they don't let me do it anymore, but at the time I got that. 2 iPhone 5s. We have a slate one, which is awesome because I love the slate color. This one works completely fine. There's very slight delamination on the top there, but I mean, it doesn't affect anything. And then we have my silver one. This one also works completely fine. Both of these are charged. That one's also in good shape. All right, so on to my outrageous amount of 4s and 4Ss. This was my first ever anything electronic aside from that iPad. This is my iPhone 4S. This was my mom's phone. She bought it brand new from AT&T. She eventually upgraded to an S6 Active, which I own, but I haven't seen it in 2 years. Unfortunately, I really missed that thing. But this was my first phone. This started all of this, so you guys can thank this. But it works completely fine. It's currently on its 4th battery replacement because I like to keep this thing going. It shouldn't be dead, but it is right now. Who cares? Then we have a black 4S. This one is my best condition one. I just have that on it to protect it because I want to keep a collection of these. All of these are my spares. So I have 6 spare 4Ss. A couple of them are cracked. A couple of them have bloated batteries. As you can see, I couldn't get this one sealed back down. Same with this one. One is iCloud locked. The rest are not, and a couple are cracked. And then we have iPhone 4s. This one is on iOS 5, and it's pretty good shape. It has a good battery that I replaced in it. So that's going to be the one that I keep for the collection. All of these right here are not cracked except for that right there on the back. That's the only one that I have with a cracked back is that little spot right there. But none of the screens are cracked on those. They all work. They're all up to date. And then I have my black 4s. 2 of these are on iOS 6, but they have cracked screens. I just want to replace the screen on one and keep that as my collection one. But all these work. This is my best condition one, so I have it in a case. And over here we have 3GSs. You can tell by the chrome or metallic silver, I guess, text on the back. I believe some of these, yeah, one of them doesn't have a screen. These 2 both do. We have a white 16 gig. I got this one from Mac Acoustics as a Christmas present. I modded it with a white screen, which is awesome because you never see these things modded. So I have an all-white 3GS 16 gig, and it's perfect. It runs iOS 5 right now. That one works good, and I have my regular 3Gs. One of these doesn't have a screen. I forget which one. It's this one right here. All of them work, though. This one right here is probably my best condition one. And last but not least, I have my 2Gs. This one right here works completely fine. I actually have it charged right now because I'm trying to use it as an iPod and just to see if I can use an old phone still. This one I got as a Christmas gift from my grandma because she knew I liked phones, and I told her that I wanted an original iPhone, so she somehow did it. So I have an original iPhone. But yeah, guys, that's basically my entire phone collection. Except I do actually have, I don't know if you can see it in the reflection of any of these. There it is. I'm filming on an S21 Plus. It's completely working. Not even cracked or anything, surprisingly for me. But that's going to do it for the video. This is my 197 device collection. Do you have anything to say? All right, that's going to be the video, guys. See ya. Thank you.